So it depends on, I don't know, one way to edit, let me see whether VI is installed here. Yeah, it's there. So it has to be a Unix tool. So I've just called VI, which is a basic editor that comes with a lot of Linux distros by default. From here, VI is sort of a strange, really interesting, super awesome text editor, existing two modes, the read mode and the write mode. So if I want to edit something, I got to move to the insert mode. Okay, so I press I, and you can see now I'm in insert mode, and now I'm able to edit. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah. And once I do my edit, I'm happy with those edits. They're super awesome. I can then issue a command by doing I don't know what you call these things. Colons. Yeah, and I'll issue a command W, which is for write. Now I've committed, persisted my changes. Some people will prefer another editor like Nano. That's much easier, but I would not recommend it. But it works. Okay, and it comes by default with on a lot of Linux distributions. Okay, so if I log on to Unix terminal SSH, my default editors will be either Nano or VI. In some instances, you'll find Emacs installed, which is another awesome editor. The two systems, VI and Emacs, are like two huge religions. So some people swear by the way to light is Emacs. That's how you get salvation. And the others will tell you, no, Vim and VI were created to give you salvation. None of them is true. In my opinion, they are tools, and it's just that certain people prefer certain ways of doing things, and the two of them got slightly okay. So just to answer her question, that's how we would edit, and I would save. And if I want to quit, I'll simply say Q by saying write and quit. But since I had written on it, I can simply say quit, and now my changes are saved. And if I do list -L, you can see that I got my file here, changed according to the time and date set in this container by root. Okay, the thing is owned by root and belongs to the root file system. Okay. So for now, that's all great, isn't it? We've done a file, we've run it, it exists in our container, and essentially what that means is that if we got a container with a certain command or a certain setup, we can interactively work with it. And sometimes what tends to happen is that you may have your data, create a container, create a home folder, put your data there, store your commands there, and tell someone, load this container, issue these commands, and you will reproduce my analysis. Okay, because you bundled all that together. Okay, as a single container, and it's reproducible, and you can ship it, and you can share it with just about anyone. Okay, so let's exit by issuing the exit command, and we are back now to our host operating system. Okay, our container is still there. We've initialized it, we've run it. Okay, it does exist. Docker, the engine, is taking care of that. Okay, it's taking care of that instance. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. So so we can restart the image or we can create a new blank container in the same state as it were. So if I now do docker run interactive alpine bin sh, I'm running a new container. Okay, it will be in that default, and it will not contain my files. you can, and we will come down to that, which is about the idle containers. Okay, so you can see that if I do, if you like, you can run the previous command and issue a new instance and realize, stuff are not installed, as it were. You created this file, passed it in a particular container. It doesn't exist beyond that particular container. Okay, so we might want to do docker container ls-a, which gives us, sorry, my thing has a lot of other idle containers running, but don't worry about it. We are more interested with the Alpine one, which I think should be at the top here. Yeah, you got Alpine, we got multiple Alpines running here. So these are the first ones that we ran. You can see they are somewhere there. Okay, you can also see that they've been given names. That's a really fancy names, isn't it? They got really fancy names. I don't know who comes up with these things, honestly. Okay, I love to come up with such names. So so the container has the container ID, the image. Yeah, so in this case I got multiple Alpine because I've run multiple Docker run IT or whatever. So I got multiple containers, okay, all based on the same image. These are the commands I issued when I ran these particular images, and this is when they were created and exited, and their fancy names, because these numbers are difficult to remember and retain. Okay, so these are just shortcuts, sharp cut, right? Recursive Newton, intelligence Lovelace, amazing Alice. They do have names of scientists. That guy there, Lovelace, Newton, Cartwright, Vicky, Gustavo, yeah, interesting thing. Got some interesting names. Boring thing, I don't know why. Cool McLaren. Oh, cool. All right. Anyway, yeah. So so what we want to do is to revive one of those containers, bring them back to life, reselect them, if you like. Okay. There's somewhere just Zubis waiting to be reselected. So that's what we're gonna do. So if we say, for example, docker start. Maybe I might want to run the previous command if I want to recall the name of my Alpine box. The most recent one was this one here. So it's called Sharp Cartwright. So I'm just gonna copy their name there, and then I'm gonna ask Docker to start. I'm gonna give that name, enter, and that is now running. Okay, but there's nothing much more than that. Okay, what I really want is to interactively review it. Yes. So we run multiple commands. So every time you run in between the run command and there's another command you will see that says remove. Okay, so you run interactively. We want to remove those so that when you exit, that container exits. Okay, so what this will do is that if you just keep on running on this, you realize that your RAM and your storage will start to balloon. Okay, and maybe you're like it happened with me. Your Docker instance might crash, but yeah. So let's do this. So let's execute this, and this time we're gonna do it interactively. And unlike what we did before, so we got a specific image that we want to call back to life. Okay, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna run the shell. Okay, and if I run my commands, boom, my file is there. Okay, My file is there. It's persisting in that Docker image. Are we together? Are things becoming elephant? Yeah? Are it's getting clearer, isn't it? Yeah, it's getting clearer. So what we've done is that we ran docker run blah blah blah. What that command does is that it creates an image, and that image will be stored and maintained by the Docker daemon. Okay. So the more commands we run like that, the more we have specific instances of an image running somewhere. Wherever we say exit, they actually become dormant. They're not active, but they are there, but they're dormant. Okay?